What's going on, Jonathan?
What's going on? How you doing?
Good. Welcome to Cincinnati.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What's the last couple of days been like for you?
Yeah, it's been good. Been talking to Cincinnati for a while, and just glad to make it official. I'm super excited to be here. It's a great opportunity, for the team and for me and my family personally. So, honestly, I'm just looking forward to getting started and getting to work.
What was it about the fit here that attracted you?
I think there was multiple things. I think, as a defensive lineman, having the ability to play with a guy like Joe Burrow in that offense, allowing, they're going to put points up. We're going to be playing with the lead, so allowing us as a defense and defensive line to kind of get after the quarterback was definitely enticing. And just the defensive staff that we've had here. Coach Montgomery, I've known him for 15 years. I mean, he recruited me out of high school. So just between, Burrow and the offense and the defensive staff here, I thought it was just honestly the best fit for me.
Did you and Jerry stay close that whole time?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he coached me at the Pro Bowl. Obviously he was in Green Bay for a while, so after every game, me and him would always connect like that. So definitely a guy that I'm fondly of.
Any players on this roster that you're?
Not too much. I'm kind of a loner when it comes to the league. Kind of, just a family guy, stay in my own lane. But I'm sure I'm going to get to know everybody, very soon.
Now, we know you as both a run stuffer and a pass rusher. What do you think is the best part of your game?
It's funny. Gino Atkins is always a guy that I've liked to look at just because he's not the biggest guy. And I think for me, it's the ability to play all three downs. That's something that I've always prided myself on, is be able to stop the run on first and second down and affect the quarterback on third down. So for me, I would just say the ability to play all phases of the game.
John, you played a lot of snaps last year. Obviously, do you think you might be more effective with Jerry? Jerry kind of handles you a certain way. You don't have to play 800.
Yeah, the tough part is there's always a fine balance of not playing too much, but also getting enough. And, for me, I've always struggled with that because obviously I want to play as much as I can. So that's something that we definitely talked about, finding that perfect balance between 65 to 75%, whatever the percentage may be. But I definitely think that's important to, being able to stay fresh throughout the, course of the season.
Is there anything in particular about Gino? I don't know if you did you ever watch Gino tape or anything, or, down through the years? You were still in the league when he was in the league, so.
Yeah, the thing that jumps off immediately is his explosiveness. Just his ability to just completely just take over games from the inside. In the run game and the pass game. So he's definitely a guy that I've not only just tried to model my game after, but looked at his tape as something that's repeatable. You know what I mean? Because he did it without being 6'5", 350. You know what I mean? A size that you can't do unless you're that size. So. He's definitely one of my favorite guys to watch.
Did you think, with him they talked about his speed, but I guess it was as much technique as anything.
I would say more technique than speed. I think the speed is what wowed the fans, but when you really break down his film, he was such a technical run stopper and pass rusher, you know what I mean?
A lot of times it's the guys on the edge who get to the quarterback, who get all the attention. As someone who's played in this league for a long time, how valuable is inside pass rush?
Well, something that I always believe is sacks are situational. Some of my best games in my career, I've had no sacks. And some of the games where I don't really feel like I played too well, I ended up with 2 sacks. And it's not just about guys winning one-on-one. It's about all 4 of us rushing together. I could beat my guard off the snap every single play, but if our left end doesn't keep containing, the quarterback gets out, I'll never get to him. So I think it's super important as interior guys, we don't create a space for the quarterback to step up. And as the edge, you got to bend that corner and make the quarterback step up. And at that point, it kind of is up to the quarterback to decide who gets the sack. So for me, my mindset is just going in to make sure I collapse the pocket at all costs and just try to make the quarterback as uncomfortable as possible.
With knowing Jerry for as long as you have, he's still relatively new to Cincinnati. What can you say just from your point of view on his coaching style and what you sort of hope to achieve with him in your time here?
Yeah, he's definitely a no-nonsense guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. And I think as a defensive line, we're in nature emotional players, emotional creatures. So, when you look at the guys he's coached, from Kenny Clark, he's coached a lot of, big-time players, and he's gotten a lot of production out of them. So I'm excited to, for the first time to be able to, play under him, and hopefully he can help grow my game in any way possible, and, we can achieve some great things here.
When you look at your games played, I'm sure you played through stuff, but you've never hardly missed games at all. And then the pec a couple of years ago, was that, or was it oblique?
It was a pec, yes.
Yeah. when that happened, were they saying it could be season ending, or was there always that hope that because you came back and
Yeah.
played well in the playoffs?
So at first it was season ending, but then when they went in, they seen some scar tissuing, which indicated that it was kind of an older injury that just kind of went at that time. So they kind of told me when I woke up that there was a chance I was going to be able to come back. And once they told me that, I mean, that was just the goal. Just 10 weeks, get under that bench, start building it back up, and get ready for the playoffs.
What was that like? Because I know that's what you guys played for,
Yeah.
to chase a ring, and you hadn't really had one playoff game before that season.
Yeah.
Get a taste of that.
It was unreal. It was unreal. I mean, there's nothing like it. Playing playoff football is unreal. And, I mean, Cincinnati's not too far removed from the Super Bowl, so I mean, with a guy like Joe Burrow on that offense and, you know, things we're going to be able to do on defense, you know, it's going to be an exciting year and looking forward to see what we can do.
When you look at the current D line that the Bengals have from this past season, is there anything that sort of has stuck out to you, or have you seen any sort of tape? I know you guys played them last year once.
Yeah, very young defensive line, which can be a good and a bad thing. Obviously, inexperienced, sometimes things happen, but very young, athletic, aggressive defensive line, and I think I'm going to be able to fit in well with them. And, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to help elevate their game as they're going to be able to elevate my game. Yeah, it's just going to be really exciting and fun. So I can't wait to get to meet the guys and, you know, get this work started.
When you get to year 10, like you're going to be, and you start looking for the perfect fit, is it winning? Is it opportunity? What do you put your values as the most important part of where you want to sign?
For me, it was where I thought I was going to be the most happy. You know what I mean? I never thought I'd say it was always winning. But for me, it was I want to go somewhere that we have a chance to compete and where I feel like I can showcase my talents and help the team at the same time. And this is one of the few places where I felt like I could have my cake and eat it too. I mean, again, when you have a guy like Burrow, you always have a chance. You're never out of it. And, you know, with the coaches we have here and the players that they already have in and they've been bringing in, I just felt like this was the perfect fit for me and my family.
You mentioned Burrow a couple times. You were in on a hit with the ACL, and sometimes when that happens, a bond, a friendship forms. Did you speak with him after that? Have you stayed in contact with him after that?
Honestly, no. Like I said, I'm kind of a loner, kind of do my own thing. Obviously, he was able to come back stronger than ever and go to the Super Bowl the next year. So I'm looking forward to get a chance to officially meet him. Yeah.
I guess you got a sense of the environment, the game a couple years ago. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
With when him and Jaden lit it up.
Yeah, that was a fun game to be an offensive guy. I was telling my wife that that environment was insane Monday night. And it's funny because after we got back, Washington, we kind of copied some of the things that you guys were doing here from turning off the lights and everyone having their flashlight out and just little things like that. So I'm looking forward to this environment for sure.